So you feel like you're on the brink of a spiritual rebirth, and you're aware that you have these patterns of fear, right? These mental blocks that aren't allowing you to take the next step. So it's like, you know that fear is an illusion, but how do you actually like get past the illusion? And this is where I think somatic practices and working with your nervous system makes a difference in your spiritual practice. Because a lot of times when we're talking about it just as like, oh, fear is just a state of mind. Um, it's just all mental. That's not really true, is it? Right? Fear is stored in the body and we're feeling it viscerally. And so when I say you can't argue with the fear, you can't like, if you're already in an anxious and fearful state, you're not going to like convince your mind, you're not through words to get out of it. I mean, you have to work with your body to shift your state of being or rest your awareness if you have this available in your nervous system, because you may not. If you're in a survival response, you may not be able to just rest in your deeper self, but you may be able to allow yourself small pockets of time. And so this is why coaching is so amazing, because you have someone else who's seated in their right, who's regulated and seated in their deeper self, and they can now hold, kind of like be your anchor and allow your nervous system to feel safe as you're going through that journey. And I like to work in like small increments. I work truly like a coach. We start very tiny, and I do this with myself as well. If I feel myself like for years, a couple years ago, I felt it didn't go on for years. I would say maybe went on for a few months. But I felt like my heart just fluttering open. But at the same time, I was going through some really traumatic shit. And I was just like, this is not the time for you to be opening. We are not opening. We're not getting into this lovey-dovey state. We're not going to do that. These people are dangerous, girl. And so what I did, because expansion is not going to come at the perfect time, what I did, however, and I knew that also what had kicked up in these relationships was because of the spiritual expansion and me opening up and choosing just to, a few weeks later, oh, I'm going to open up to this energy. Blah, blah, blah. Chaos ensued. Not to scare y'all, but it will like the dynamics in your relationships as you start to lean into love and you start to not be afraid to speak up for yourself, blah blah blah, hold your boundaries, because you're really like, actually I love myself and I think I deserve better. And it's not coming from like a, I'm gonna fight you about my boundaries. It's just like coming from a very sovereign place. And of course, right, people who are taking advantage of you are gonna be like, I don't like that. And so I felt my heart like opening up and having these expansive moments. And what I did was create these safe containers, right? These safe pockets of time for that expansion to happen. And so safety is so, so key in your spiritual journey, especially if you are a trauma survivor or maybe you're going through hard times right now and you're like, I don't like, yeah, fear is a part of my life right now, but I still feel like two things can be going on at once. And how do I take care of my nervous system and do so that I could do this safely? That's what I help with as a trauma-informed certified intimacy coach and spiritual guide. But yeah, this is a big one. And another thing that I want to add as well is that feeling of guilt. I totally understand that feeling of guilt of like, well, why me? Why should I, open up to this magic or let myself, live a bigger life? Why me? And as someone who struggled with codependency to the point that I wanted to give my blessings away. I literally remember being a high school student. I gotten into 3 Ivy Leagues and I felt so bad. And of course, people ignorant, just people who I thought were my friends weren't really my friends. Oh, you just got in because you're black, blah, 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 blah. Garbage. You didn't have my grades. Anyways. I so felt bad for those who didn't get what they wanted that I want to give my blessings away. And I continued that pattern. And it didn't get me anywhere good. First of all, no one can have your blessings. What your nervous system is ready to hold is what you're going to receive. And if their nervous system isn't ready to hold it, they're not going to receive it. You can't go get in there. Oh my goodness. I've had my life stall out so much because I wanted to give my intention in trying to create and trying to manifest was because I wanted to give the world to other people. Stall the fuck out. Why? Because I was energetically trying to interfere with their soul's journey and their path and their learning and all the things. Like, we're all here to have the experience of growing and learning how to create in the physical and interacting with the physical and create from love. And so if you now, someone's in a tough place and you now try to come in and save and blah blah blah, you're taking their journey away from them, their whole purpose of being here. And so it's not a question of why me. It's just like, oh, I'm ready. And if I so choose, I can help somebody else get ready, right? You don't have to be a teacher, but just in like your energetic imprint that you choose to leave everywhere you go, it is a help, right? And so we come out of this point of like, oh, I'm it's not even that you're chosen, right? We all have access to our deeper self. It's just something that you are choosing. There's a difference between I am like the chosen few versus I am choosing and I've chosen. And others are choosing and they've chosen. And my personal perspective is I really don't think there's a right or wrong. I don't think it's a bad idea to go through, life and never go on an awakening journey or healing journey. I actually don't think it's that bad of a choice. I am at a place where I personally just see it as like, it's all options, right? It's all options. And consciousness is learning through every experience, right? The deeper consciousness that we all belong to is learning through every experience. And if you truly believe you are an eternal being and others are too, they're going to have many other chances to continue to learn and expand from whatever they choose. And even if someone is suffering, I don't think that they have like from as someone who has suffered, it's not from sun up to sundown. You know what I mean? Usually there's even in the worst of circumstances, you can have a pocket of breath, right? And it's like, how do I say this? How can we add to someone's, like, help them to enjoy those moments? And I think that's what a lot of trauma healing is giving you more opportunities to take that sigh of relief. And you won't have so many when you're first starting out, right? Where you're feeling very triggered or you're going through a tough time. You're not going to have so many of those breaths, but you start to take one today. Okay, I did it. Heaviness is back. I start to take another. Okay, the next day I could take 3, right? And you just start to expand that window of tolerance, right? And that's how life comes back, health comes back, vitality comes back. It doesn't all come back all at once, and we can't fix everything all at once. And so it's, for me, that question of like, why me? It's, you have to take a bigger view. You have to zoom way out. You have to zoom way out to really like feel the well-being of all of it. And like, yeah, I don't think there's like fixing that is required from me here. And actually, if I allow my blessings, I can be a blessing, right? And I actually help others to expand. But it's that kind of constricted, like that feeling of I'm chosen, or there's only a few of us, or blah, blah, blah. It's a very lack and tight and constricted like thought pattern. So that's my 2 cents. I know I didn't really say that all perfectly. And I said maybe more than 2 cents, but that's why you should get into coaching with me. Anyways, I hope that helps. And thank you so much for always commenting and being one of my biggest fans on here. Thank you so much. And yeah, you can let me know your thoughts in the comments.